Hey guys, welcome back to Stock My Closet. For today's project, I have taken 2.5 meter Ajrak cotton fabric and 2 meter contrast color mull cotton fabric. And this is a measurement I'll be using. You can adjust it according to your requirement. In today's video, I'm sharing Anarkali kurti, and for that, firstly, I'll cut kali draft on this piece of fabric. You can use paper as well. I have cut out the required length, that is 46.5 inch, including 1.5 inch for seam allowance. Fabric width is 4 inch. This is on fold, so when I'll open the fabric, total width will be 8 inch. Now I'll mark the measurements. I'm making 16 kali kurti. For shoulder, divide shoulder measurement by half of total number of kalis. So in my measurement, shoulder is 14 inch and 14 divided by 8 is 1.75 inch. I'm marking on the on-fold fabric, so I'll divide 1.75 by 2 and I'll mark a point at 0.9 inch. Now I'll mark the vertical measurements. From the top, mark a point at 7.25 inch, armhole point, 11 inch shoulder to bust measurement, 15 inch shoulder to waist measurement, 21 inch shoulder to hip measurement, and 45.5 inch length of kurti. Now here is a chart for round measurements. First of all, I have added ease or losing to the body measurements. Like for chest, I have added 2 inch of ease. Body measurement for chest is 36 inch. 36 plus 2 is 38. Then divided by total number of kalis, that is 16 for my kurti. You can increase or decrease number of kalis as per your choice. By dividing 38 by 16, I'll get 2.4. And I'm marking on the on-fold fabric, so I have divided 2.4 by 2, and the ready measurement to mark on the fabric will be 1.2 inch. Similarly, I have calculated for bust, waist and hip. It's just I have added different amount of ease. For bust, I have added 3 inch of ease, for waist 4, and for hip round 6 inch. You can change ease amount as per your choice. Now I'll mark the ready measurements. Chest 1.2 inch, bust 1.3 inch, waist 1.1 inch, hip 1.4 inch, bottom round is 2.75 inch, including half inch for seam allowance. Join these points. I have added half inch of seam allowance, but quarter inch of seam allowance would be sufficient. And while stitching, make sure keep the same seam allowance throughout all kalis. So I've cut out the kali draft. Now I'll mark and cut it out on the main fabric. I have taken one layer of main fabric. Now I'll place the kali draft like this. And I'll trace it out. So I've traced it. Now on the first and the last kali, I won't trim this fabric. I'll use it as allowance for the side fitting seam on the upper bodies. Now flip the kali and trace it, and keep on repeating the same process until you marked all the required kalis. So I've marked the kalis. Now I'll cut it out. Similarly, I'll cut kalis on the second length. So I've cut all the kalis. Now to attach kalis, join two kalis. Keep right side of fabric together and make a stitch. I have marked the seam allowance and now I'll make a stitch. So I made a stitch. Now I'll overlock it. Similarly, I'll attach other cullis. So I've attached all the cullis on both front and back side. Now I'll remark the measurement and trim the extra fabric. Firstly, mark the shoulder. Now I'll mark the vertical measurements. From the top, mark a point at 7.25 inch, 11 inch shoulder to bust measurement, 15 inch shoulder to waist measurement, and 21 inch shoulder to hip measurement. And now I'll mark the round measurements. I'll extend the armhole line and I'll mark the armhole curve. So I have marked and cut out the kurti. Don't forget to add the seam allowance. And now I'll cut out and finish the front neckline. For that I have taken pasting buckram, contrast color fabric and fabric buttons. Firstly, I'll cut out neckline shape on the pasting buckram. So I've cut out the neckline shape. I'll place it on the fabric. And I'll cut facing fabric in the neckline shape, leaving around 0.75 inch of seam allowance. Fold and iron the seam allowance like this. And now I'll join the neckline with the kurti. I have marked center line and neck width points. Place the neckline on the wrong side of the kurti. Now I'll make a stitch in the neckline shape. I made a stitch. Now I'll trim the facing fabric. So I've trimmed the fabric and I made small cuts all around the neckline shape. Now turn the bukram neckline on the right side of the kurti and this is how it will look. Now I'll make a stitch on the outer edge of the neckline to secure it. I've kept Kali joint as the center, so I'm matching the neckline with that joint. Now continue the stitch till the other end of the neckline. So I made a stitch and with this front neckline is ready. To finish the back neckline, I've cut out the bias tape from the same fabric. I'll make final fold on the back neckline after stitching shoulder line. Join front and back shoulder, right sides together and make a stitch. Now I'll overlock it. And now I'll fold the back neckline bias tape and make a stitch to secure it. Now I'll finish armholes using bias tape as I did for the back neckline. So I finished the armholes. Now I'll stitch the side fitting seam. I've started stitching from the armhole and I'll take it to the bottom. Leave around 1.5 or 2 inch of fabric. And now I'll finish the bottom round. And for that, just double fold the seam allowance and make a stitch on the inner edge to secure it. So I finished the bottom round and this is how it looks. Lastly, I'll attach the fabric buttons. And with this, my Anarkali kurti is ready. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and do subscribe my channel for more such videos. And I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.